Cool opportunity today. I'm going to be riding Harley Davidson's all-new CVO Road Glide ST, but with a little extra punch. This bike now has a 135 in it, courtesy of Tim's Harley Davidson. So thanks to them and thanks to Robert, the owner of this bike, for this opportunity. I'm going to take this thing on a test ride and see what this thing can do. Now, I have done a full-on review of this bike in its stock form. If you want to see that, I'll put a link for that down in the description below. I will say, in its stock form, this is one of my favorite bikes Harley Davidson's ever produced. Formerly, it was a Lowrider ST. I think this thing dethroned it, in my personal opinion. The suspension on this bike is really, really good, especially for a bone stock Harley, which I've been very critical of their suspension in the past. This thing also made tremendous power. To me, this thing, you can throw it around like a Softail, even though it's a big touring bike. So the main thing done to this bike is going to be this big 135 cubic inch crate motor from Harley Davidson, which should definitely wake this thing up. This bike has been dyno tuned. I know a lot of people are going to ask about that. So the numbers on the horsepower and torque were both slightly over 150. So I want to say it was 151, 152 on both, somewhere right in there, but north of 150. Now, we're not going to go into all the details, but just really quickly, for those that may not have seen this bike, Harley's new CVO Road Glide ST. It comes factory with these Showa piggyback shocks, this forged carbon shell, forged carbon on the dash, forged carbon on the front fender, really nice brakes on the front of this bike. Obviously, being one of Harley's new bikes, you do get the big screen. Being a CVO, you're gonna get the Rockford. So with the ST, you're gonna get performance. With the CVO, you're gonna get a little bit of that extra flair, and this is gonna be the best of both worlds, and this is a bad bike. It comes in this Raven metallic as well as a white. I've yet to be able to make up my mind on which one I would get if I was getting one of these bikes. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, but let's jump on this thing and see what this bike is all about.
I guess before we get started, I should let you guys hear this thunder header on this bike. We'll see how good the audio picks up. You know, as the old saying goes, this audio will definitely not do justice to the true sound of this, and this is absolutely true because that pipe sounds amazing. We started it in the dealership. It sounds really, really good with a little bit of that echo in the building. So again, I have to thank Roger and Tim's Harley Davidson for this opportunity to be able to do this. This is a really, really nice bike, really nice build with this engine. So super grateful to both of them for the opportunity. You hear this thing chopping. Also, I do want to point out for the keyboard warriors, this bike has been heat cycled. It's been run on a dyno, so it's fine to give it a little bit. Now again, not my bike, so I'm not going to hammer this thing as bad as I want to. I'll leave that up to Roger. Let him do that. We'll get on it and see what this 135 is about, because that's the point of the test ride. But we're not going to dog another man's stuff. That's just not how you do things. This is a red light of doom here. I hate this spot, so this right lane runs out. But if you don't take this right lane, then you get stuck in traffic. So let's cut this part out, and I'll catch up with you guys when we're on the open road ripping this thing. Oh, you hear that thunder header kicking in. This thing is, oh, this is a nice bike. Roger, congratulations, buddy. This thing is epic. Really good so far. Smooth down in those lower RPMs. No dips in the tune. The more and more I get to ride these higher performance bikes, the more you become aware of little things like that. And the more you appreciate a really solid tune. So Cam Floyd is the master tech at Tim's Harley Davidson that did this 135 and did the tuning on it. So if you guys are interested, hit up Tim's Harley Davidson, ask for Cam. He's the man to talk to if you want to build some big power. That's the guy that built my personal Softail Standard shameless plug that is for sale right now. 145 horsepower on that thing. Oh, the engine braking is good. Dude, I'm telling you, I feel like you could take a hand off the bar and just throw this thing into a corner and be good. This is also a notoriously bumpy bridge, and this thing handled it great. So third gear, about 3,500 or fourth gear, 3,500 RPMs. Really good linear power. So a lot of times with these Harley builds, what you get is you get an absolute torque monster that just pops up, but it kind of creates a little bit of jerkiness no matter how smooth you are with the throttle. So far, I haven't been getting that. You know, you pull on it, it's instantly there, which I do really like. There's no lag in this throttle. The front wheel's coming up. Shifting from first to second and then second to third, and that was, you know, not aggressive at all. Again, I got to reinforce I can't hammer this bike like I would like to, but that front wheel was definitely lifting off the ground. Oh, I just noticed too, we're almost out of fuel, so that's cool. Yeah, this is easily my favorite Harley to date from, and I get we're not on a factory Harley, but I said this in my original test ride of this bike in its stock form, was that they did an amazing job on this bike. So you're kind of getting, you know, like I said with the ST, you're getting performance stuff, so you're getting great suspension, great power out of the box, and really good braking. All the keys for a really good performance build. Now this thing is a CVO, so you do have all the radio, all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but for the guy that literally wants everything, you know, the audio, all that stuff, and the performance, this is it. This is the bike to get. Now, would you come out better buying a regular Road Glide and building your own bike? I guess that depends on what all you plan to do to it. Maybe that would be an interesting video. You guys let me know down in the comments if that's something you want to do. We can kind of sit down and look at some parts, and I can at least spec it out in the way that I would build it if I were doing it. Obviously, the channel's not big enough to do anything like that on a real scale. But I'll just see, you know, what would I do? Bars, seat, risers, performance-wise, engine, brakes, things like that, and see if I could build a bike that would make me happier than this one for less money, because this thing is good. This thing is really good. It feels like a bike that you could every day as well. You can take this to your rallies and cruise. You can do all your normal stuff on it, because it is. You just click up an extra gear, keep your RPMs lower. It's a very comfortable bike to cruise around on it. It doesn't have to be a hot rod all the time, but if you want to drop a gear and hit it, it's there. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you once again to my boys at Tim's Harley Davidson for making this happen. Thanks again to Roger. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. I've got some really cool stuff coming up, in October to post. Stuff that you're probably going to want to see that I can't talk about quite yet, but trust me, it's going to be good. I'll catch you guys in the next video.